Hi, it's Nell, and today I'm standing under a beautiful arch of flowers at the Westward Look Resort in Tucson, and this is star jasmine, which smells so good right now. And I'm going to be doing a video about star jasmine care and how to grow it, so stick around. And here's another star jasmine trained over an arch. This is in the healing garden. A little bit smaller than the one in the kitchen garden. I'm back home in the very back corner of my garden, and this is my star jasmine, also known as Tracheospermum jasminoides. And the time to do a video about this plant is when it's in bloom, because the flowers are sweetly scented, they cover the plant, and they're just gorgeous. So that's why I've been waiting to do this video until the plant came in bloom. And as you may know, I just did a video about pink jasmine. Now, pink jasmine is a jasmine. The genus is Jasminum. This is not really a jasmine. The genus is Tracheospermum. This one is in the Apocynaceae family, which is Plumeria, Oleander, Adenium, and Vinca major, Vinca minor, just to give you an idea. But it's called star jasmine because it has jasmine-like flowers, these little starry flowers, and it smells very, very sweet. Now this blooms a little bit later than the pink jasmine does. The pink jasmine blooms late winter into spring. This is early April. No, it's mid-April. So this one blooms like mid-spring into early summer, depending on where you are. And I think that this one has a longer bloom time too than the pink jasmine has. But it's a very versatile plant. It's a twining, vining plant. And I will show you mine in a bit, but it goes up about probably 10 to 12 feet. So it's against the wall here. It can also grow as a border plant. It can grow as a hedge. It can espalier along a wall. That's how my mother had it at her house in Sonoma. On the outside fence, it was espaliered there. It also spills over a wall beautifully. Let's see how else. Chain link, it'll grow along a chain link fence because it twines. As you saw, it grows over an arch, that beautiful archway, so it can be trained that way too. And it makes a wonderful container plant. I think this is a very manageable plant. It's not really wild and too crazy. And what I love about it is the dark, glossy green, older foliage, and then you get the springy green, new foliage that's also glossy. I just think it's very fresh looking. Now, in terms of size, as I said, it can grow to like a 2-foot ground cover, or it can grow up to 25 to 30 feet. And here it is, growing as a ground cover. And just so you can get an idea of how tall it can get, this one growing in the corner of this building is at least 20 feet tall, probably more. So if you do want it to grow tall, it needs some method of support. This is on a trellis here. I'll zoom in case you can't see it at some point, but it is growing against a trellis. Otherwise, this plant will just flop back on itself. And in terms of light and exposure, it can take full sun on the coast, which would be like San Francisco, Santa Barbara, San Diego along the coast. There it can. Here, where I am in Tucson, it needs shade from the hot sun. Mine gets about an hour and a half of full sun a day. It's getting a little bit at the top now. I think it's like 3:30 or something, but it's very bright back here. So it does still flower beautifully, but if it's in the hot afternoon sun, it will burn and the more sun it has, the more water it is going to need. Now, on to watering. It needs regular watering, which is sort of a vague term, but it depends on where you live. Here, I have just started to water mine twice a week for like it's on drip. It goes on for 13 minutes at a time, twice a week. In the winter, I had the drip off, so it was just fine. So if you are someplace cooler, regular watering might be a good deep watering every 2 weeks. But like anything, it needs water to get established, and it looks best with regular water. It's not really a drought tolerant plant, but it's not a really water hoggy plant. Just a good deep regular watering every, depending on where you are. See, here I do it twice a week. As I said, you might do it once a week or every 2 weeks. And the more sun and the more heat it has, the more water it's going to take to keep it looking good. But what I did to help mine is I put like a 4-inch layer of compost on the top because the soil had sort of worn down. So I put a nice thick layer of compost on, so that really helps to keep it moister in this dry climate. Now, in terms of temperature, it adapts well to heat and it adapts well to colder temperatures. It is hardy to about zone 8. It goes, the lowest it can go is about 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, there are those beautiful flowers. Now, in terms of soil, it's fairly versatile, but it prefers it on the loamy side and very well drained. If you have it in a container, you just want to use a really good organic potting soil and mix some compost in there. That'll be fine. And also too, as I said, it loves compost. Now, in terms of fertilizers, I don't use fertilizer on this plant. I just use the compost and it responds very well to that. I had quite a few star jasmines on my accounts in the Bay Area and I always use compost. But if you are someone who likes to fertilize, just be sure to use a good organic balanced fertilizer after it flowers once in the spring or the summer, and that'll be just fine. Now on to the flowers. Yes, it does. As you can see, there are quite a few on this one and on other ones that I'm showing you, and also too there'll be pictures in the blog post, so you'll see lots of flowers up there because the flowers are beautiful. It gets a profusion of them in spring or summer depending on where you are, and they last for a fairly long time. As you can see, there's quite a few that haven't opened on this, and these have been open for about a week or so now, and this is right outside of my bedroom window, so it just smells really, really heavenly. I like the smell of this better than the pink jasmine. I know a lot of people love that, but it's a little strong for me. This is a little milder scent, but very sweet, but I just think the flowers are beautiful. And here I am, just inside the arch. On to pruning. Now, I am going to do pruning on this plant after it flowers. So if you want a video to see me pruning this, I would be very happy to do it for you. Just be sure to leave a note in the comments and I will. Otherwise, I'll just prune it. But the best time to prune it is after flowering. And it does emit a sap. It oozes out a milky sap, but it's never been irritating to me. I've pruned many of them. I had a client who had like a border of star jasmine that ran along the walkway. It was quite a long walkway, and then it ran along her rose bed. So I had to prune that about 3 to 4 times a year. This one, I imagine, will only take it once in the spring. It's new to me. I just moved in the house about 9 months ago. So this is the first time that I've seen it flower. So I will do it probably in about 4 or 5 weeks after it's all done. We're getting really hot now, so it might, pop it out and make it bloom a little bit faster. So I'm not quite sure how long it's going to last. And then I will probably do a light pruning just to shape it in November. But it's very manageable. The pink jasmine is kind of a wild one, whereas this one is very manageable. It prunes into different lots of different shapes. Well, as you saw on those hoops, the beautiful hoops, and on trellises and espaliers, and it's just, I think it's a really nice plant. I really like this one. And another thing that makes this plant versatile is that you can prune it heavy or you can prune it light. It's not like some things not like, this is, that rose I pruned. It needs a hard pruning in the late winter into spring, depending on where you are. This one you can prune how you want to prune it, the look that you want it to have. So things to love about this plant are its versatility, its ease of maintenance, its beautiful foliage, and of course, the flowers. Oh, there's one other thing I want to tell you. It comes in a variegated form too. And one thing that I forgot to say too is that this plant is fast growing. Planting area down there full of compost. And I'm just going to show you mine, just so you can get an idea. As you can see, the flowers get heavier as it goes up, which makes perfect sense because it gets more light. Oh, we're going to get some of that sun glare there. But it's just a little over the top of the building. It's really a very, very easy plant. But if I've forgotten to say anything, I don't think I have. I will leave it in the blog post, and the link to that will be in the description box down below, or you can go to our website, joyousgarden.com, and just type in Star Jasmine in the search bar, and it'll pop up for you. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful about the beautiful Star Jasmine. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. I have a lot more videos coming your way, so be sure and come back. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Bye.